Welcome to Bourbon Blog Live. It's bourbonblog.com/live. And one of our favorite guests to have back on the show always is Matty Rock. He is ambassador for Drew Estate Cigars. How are you tonight, Matty?
Buenas noches, mi amigo.
Yes, that's right.
Happy into my Cinco de Mayo groove, baby.
I like it. Happy Cinco de Mayo. We have a few tequilas we're going to pair with these. And I really like pairing tequilas with smokes. I think they can work really nicely, and this will be fun. It'll be fun to have a little Cinco de Mayo with you. How have you been celebrating Cinco de Mayo so far?
I'm a husky guy every day, so nothing's really any different than any other day. Obviously, given what's going on, quiet, but that's right. It. So we get to have our little Cinco de Mayo blast here, so we'll live vicariously through you.
That's right. And it's a pleasure to have you joining us. You're joining us live from New Jersey, right?
Yes, sir, brother.
And as we are talking tonight, definitely ask questions down below, as always, on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter. If you're watching right now, share this, like this, share it in your stream. We want to make sure we keep on growing the love. A lot of our people are already tuning in, I see. So tell us, you picked out a couple cigars for us to try tonight. We're definitely going to start with the Hoya Black, which you and I have already fired up. What do we have here?
So what we spoke about last time is we were talking about the Hoya Red on our last call. So this is the predecessor to the Hoya Red. So now you have the introduction of a nice Mexican Maduro wrapper. So you have a nice, smooth, medium body cigar. And I'm sure you've already noticed that natural sweetness on the front end of it. Like I said, I love that perfect, you know me, I'm a Maduro guy. I don't hide it. I love my Maduro cigars. And this is one of my favorite offerings that our brothers and sisters over at Hoya de Nicaragua offer. Again, beautiful. See that up there? Beautiful white ash on there. Gotta watch my mouth. What'd you say? Ash, guys, ash. Keep it PG, all right? I love everything that they started up. All those newer sticks, really, really like them an awful lot. Like I said, on future shows, we'll try to light up a couple of different ones so we could talk about this. But like I said, this one consider for me dead medium. Nicaraguan fillers and that Mexican Maduro wrapper. Particularly fond of it. Great smoke, smoked beautifully. And you're pairing it up with the tequila, and I have
very nice
special black cherry soda because I know how to party, man.
I like it. Let's see that bottle once again.
That's right.
Hold on. Manhattan Special. Last time you did a little of the coffee.
So we had the Manhattan Special, the original, which was the espresso coffee.
That was the original.
We got the black cherry today. So,
and they had been making that original one for how many years?
Since before 1900, so I think 1893 or something. So it's been around forever. Again, it's one of those old school New York things. If you go to an Italian grocer or a bodega or an Italian specialty store, so I'll have to make sure I go drop that in a box for you so you can partake.
And thank you. And only in pretty much only the East Coast they have these.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't really seen it outside of New York and New Jersey. I'm sure it exists at like I said, Italian grocers and things like that, or you could pick it up online. But a lot of the Italian places around here, you can find it.
Very nice. And I have a Casa Noble Añejo tequila. This is among some of our favorite tequilas. I got to meet some of the makers several years ago, and this is the Añejo. So it's about 2 years old. Really beautiful. It's aged for about 2 years in French white oak and distilled 3 times. And usually Añejo requires a minimum of around 1 year. This is the top end, guys, go up to 3. This one's right at 2. So I'll taste this with this cigar. And, coincidentally, we're talking about this has a Mexican wrapper, right? And this is Cinco de Mayo.
You're keeping your Cinco de Mayo.
We're going full force, baby, with that theme. But I think the spice on this, there's a nice sweet and spice on the Hoya, and there's a lot of sweetness and beautiful spice on this. It's a very, though there's spice and sweetness, there's a real softness to everything Casa Noble does. I'm a big fan of it. So, what are the predominant flavors that you taste on the Hoya Black?
Like I said, especially with the introduction of that Mexican Maduro, you get those nice subtle hints of sweetness. You'll notice when you inhale on that, if you do a retrohale, you'll get that on the back end, a little bit sweetness. That's going to go probably perfectly with the little bit of sweetness that you're going to get in that tequila.
Yes, it does.
So it's going to be very, very nicely balanced. Like I said, this is not an overpowering cigar, medium body in its nature. Very, very light notes of pepper. You know, you and I talk about, everyone goes pepper in cigars. So in this one, very, very, very light. More or less, you're going to get, like I said, it's smooth, it's sweet, and dare I say, creamy. Those are the adjectives that I would use on this stick. And like I said, I'm quite partial to this as one of my go-to sticks from the white line. And
the creaminess, the really coincidence, but we did really think about the combinations, the pairings here. There's a beautiful creaminess on the end of this tequila. So as I get that on the smoke, as I go back to the tequila, I taste that creaminess with that nice spice from the tequila. It's really amplified, and it's really, I would say, really an accentuated pairing. The flavor is really being accentuated in both of these.
That's why I chose black cherry to go with this.
Very nice.
Sweetness of the black cherry on there is actually quite a nice mix to go with the smoke. So, like I said, not quite as sophisticated as the left side of the screen, but the right side of the screen chose the black cherry.
Left, right, left. Exactly.
What are we smoking and drinking out there, guys? What are we doing today?
That's right. Yeah, let's ask down below. Tell us what what you're tasting, whatever it may be. Whether it is soda, whether it is tequila, whiskey. I'm sure a lot of people trying. I'll even say, what are you drinking tonight? Tell us right here. And again, you're watching us on Bourbon Blog Live. We do this every night. I believe I'm going to have to, at some point, count up the number. I believe it's close to 50-something, give or take.
Yeah, every single night. I can't count past that high, so I'm going to leave that up to you. Not enough fingers and toes, buddy.
We've been thrilled to have Matty Runk on several of these, and always fun to join you for a nice smoke, Matty. And that's the website you go to. That'll always take you right to our live stream, bourbonblanc.com/live, right at 8 p.m. Eastern every night. Later this week, a lot of great guests coming all the way from Barrel and Bottle tomorrow night with Dave Sweet. And Thursday night, we're going to be talking about the Fighting 69 Irish Whiskey. And then I believe on Friday night, it's Matt Jamie of Bourbon Barrel Foods. Just all kinds of great stuff this week. When we had, I think I told you, we had an incredible time. I was thinking that because towards the end of the day, I wanted a cigar, but we celebrated what would have been Kentucky Derby Day the other day on Saturday. Derby has been rescheduled for September 5th, but we had a 6-hour-long stretch of live videos with celebrities, horse trainers, Adam Ray, Jonathan Hyatt. A lot of great comedians came on, and mixologists, several of them from New York, and just a lot of good friends came on to talk about the state of whiskey, the state of distilling. So I'm definitely going to be posting that up, and but I did have a cigar at the end of the night and thought of you, Matty, and how I like to have a cigar right as the race begins every Derby.
We'll make sure we do that, man. September 5th, you said? September
5th.
Like Donkey Kong, brother. Let's see what special stuff we could break out for that.
Very nice, very nice.
I'll use my 2 existing brain cells to think of something interesting that we should bust out for that.
I'm glad you have a few left. Someone here, Eat Here Indy says they're doing a smoking Crazy Alice Deadwood right there,
right,
and they are drinking some Blanton's. Thank you for watching Eat Here Indy. I think those are our friends there in Indianapolis, of course, not too far away from where I'm at in Indiana. And Mark says hello to you, Matty.
Marky, what's up there, baby?
Glenn's watching, and Joanne.
What's up, Holmes?
Yes, Joanne Barber's having a little Patron. So we do have a few people that are trying some tequilas, and I think there really is, definitely, I think with some cigars, with the lighter characteristics, doing a Blanco would be nice. Maybe even a cocktail. I'm sure even a margarita in a cigar could work. What have you seen when it comes to tequila Mexican themed drinks and cigars in your cigar adventures?
Again, it depends upon the cigar smoker. So if you're going to make margaritas or some of the sweeter or fruitier drinks, a lot of people that smoke infused cigars obviously do something from the acid line that go really, really well.
Right.
that if you did something like either a blondie or a Cuba Cuba or a toast or something that nature, again, for me, since being a Maduro guy, again, I'm kind of impartial to a toast. So nice sweet overtones, Maduro wrapper, and for when I used to drink, that would have been something that gone real nice with a margarita or a daiquiri,
Oh yeah.
something of that nature. And for your traditional, on your traditional side, it really depends. If you're smoking some of those, drinking some of those sweeter drinks, like I said, you might want to pick a stick that has some of that natural sweetness all on its own. I don't know. That might also mean you're smoking something lighter, perhaps with the Connecticut wrapper. Maybe you're going for an underground shade. For me, again, I don't hide the love for the Maduro, so I would go for something with the Maduro wrapper, or possibly a Habano or something with a little bit more of a kick.
Right. You were mentioning before we came on here, and maybe we talk about state of distilleries right now. Some distilleries are still distilling. Some have sent their people home. Many distilleries making hand sanitizer, which has been so important, and we really salute. First of all,
to the community.
Yeah, they're helping the community. We salute all of them for helping those on the front lines, which we appreciate. Salute them too. But as far as the cigar companies, are many of these, you were mentioning Hoya, are some of them needing to go back? What's that looking like right now?
It's a waiting game. So everybody's is starting to test the waters. Some things are opening back up. There's some places there's smaller or shorter production. Some people are home, and you're going to find it scattered. It's going to depend a lot on the size of the company as well too. Obviously, you don't want thousands of people milling around on top of each other. So, things are turned down a little bit. I don't really know what normalcy is going to be or when that's going to be. Like I said, your guess is as good as mine. But we're still able. People looking to buy smokes. Everybody's still good. You're still able to get what you need. A lot of your brick and mortar stores have chosen to do some mail order. Quite a few of them you're able to go pick up curbside and others. So right now there's no cigar shortage.
There's no cigar shortage.
Everybody's able to get their fix.
Is that something that because we think about spirits, and I don't think there's any. Well, there's some. Probably shouldn't say that too quickly. There's some whiskeys that are always tough to get. The rare ones that take many years to age, and spirits. But when it comes to how much supply of cigars are out there, if there is a lag in time, what does that look like in the cigar business in general, as far as what's on hand in case there is a lag, like there has been?
It's hard to say, and you kind of said it. There's really not much of a difference with the production of very, very high-end cigars than there is with liquor. So when you have something, let's just use the legal line as an example. When you're talking about tobaccos that have a much longer aging process, obviously that's going to add to wait time and that you would get from a cigar. So if production is stunted on something of that nature, again, it would follow on the same lines of anything else. Anything that's of a higher end in nature that requires more time, either getting the raw material or more time aging, that's going to produce obviously a lag. So right now there's not a considerable lag that I know of, and we'll see. Again, we'll see what the future is. Certain states are opening up; people are figuring it out. I read today that knock on wood, that they're working on a vaccine right now that they're testing on humans. So we will see where this all goes and how that changes the climate of everything that's going on.
Right. Absolutely. More people want to throw a shout out to Louis. Louis says hello to you, Matty, as well.
Louis, what's up there, brother? You staying safe, dude?
What's happening, Louis? So many great people watching, and it's always good to have a smoke here with Matty Rock Drew Estate Cigars. What are things looking like there in New Jersey? What's the?
I won't lie. Look at this. I want to put a little bark at the moon from Ozzy on, so
right.
It's beautiful, but like I said, I live in a pretty busy street, and this is what you see. Just nothing.
Still not too much.
So, yeah. So for the most part, people are behaving. They're doing their social distancing. You have your restaurants that are open for curbside pickup. You have your restaurants that are open for deliveries. So, again, the big thing that we're trying to do in my little pocket, people familiar with Jersey, I'm in Bergen County. People are doing their part. We did some local this evening. One of the places you asked I ate is where we picked up food today. Me and the missus, we did pizzaiolo. So I know I'm a sellout. I didn't do tacos for this, so I'm kind of a sellout. So it's all right. But I'm husky and I eat tacos all the time, so the forces that be will forgive me. But
You're always
you know,
celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Parks just opened up last weekend.
Okay.
So for the first time in almost 2 months, got to go to my my favorite park. And as silly as it sounds, it was kind of uplifting for me to be there. I enjoyed it. I was happy. I begged that everybody did their part to social distance so we don't have to close back down the parks.
Right.
So
Right.
that made me happy. So one thing you learn about all this is some of the things that you sometimes take for granted. Right. So
That's right.
now I don't quite take that for granted anymore. I'm like, holy crap, I love my park.
Oh, it's so nice to be in those. What's your favorite park there?
So it's called Saddle River Park here. So there's probably about 20 miles of bike trails. If you like fishing, there's a pond for the easy stuff, sunnies, catfish, carp. If you're having a particularly shit day, you'll catch a snapping turtle that will want to snap off your fingers. And then right behind the pond, though, they have an inlet of the Ramapo River. So it's actually stocked with trout. There's some smallmouth back there. So a little bit of something for everyone. I haven't seen them in years. When I was younger, they're even perch back there. So just a fun place to be. You got those, like I said, 20-something miles of bike trails leading you through all the local towns. So nice. It's a nice, refreshing way to get away from the everyday, if you will.
Excellent. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that I'm looking forward to as well. And I know all those near parks, near beaches, that it's all gonna happen again soon. And it feels like, even though it's not all back to normal, it feels like there's this energy, this undercurrent that feels like maybe we're getting closer to that.
Well, again, each thing that you get back that adds to that little bit of normalcy is good for the soul.
It adds to it.
The big thing is people getting to be around people. I mean, it's incessantly in human nature to be around other humans. So probably me, I'm a dick. A lot of people are like, I've had enough Matty time. But for the most part, humans like to be around other humans. So that's the biggest thing. We know I'm a pain in the ass. I'm a hugger, so I'm like, nope, can't hug anybody. Shit. No, air hug, air high five.
The air hugs, the social distance hugs, those will be tough. The hug's a tough thing to replace. It truly is.
So again, those are things that you take very much for granted every single day. And I always say, out of a bad situation, learn something. And if we could learn to, maybe not to take so many things for granted. I know I did.
Right.
I felt bad about all the things that I took for granted and all the, things that are really luxuries that you don't even think about. So I know I learned from the experience.
Right. No, me as well. More shout outs to Matty. Is it Cremon Lai? Is that who? Right there.
Oh, the chairman. What's up there?
Chairman. Oh, I see it now. Chairman Lai.
What are you doing there, brother? I know he has a good smoke and a good drink on hand. What do we have going on, Rich? I know he's there with it. There's a stick in one hand.
We're going to inspire him too. That's for sure. Now, the more I'm getting into this, I'm really getting more of those spices, more of that creaminess, and it's really bringing everything out so nicely in this tequila. This is a really nice stick. The Hoya Black was just released. You said about 2 years ago. It's one of the newer ones?
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And what are the other newest ones in the collection?
So they just got Cigar of the Year for the Hoya CT. So it's a Hoya de Nicaragua with the Connecticut shade wrapper. Wonderful smoke, mild to mild medium. That'll be in your next batch. Maybe that'll be one of the next things that we go over the next time we go over smoke, or we'll mix it up. But love that. They had recently had, as you and I had spoken about, being the oldest cigar factory in Nicaragua, they recently had their 50th anniversary, and for the occasion, they had put out the Cinco de Escadas. And you talk about a rich, complex cigar. So maybe that we'll go find a way to go fire one or two of those up and talk about it. But like I said, all the stuff that's been coming out of that factory lately, it's been one piece of gold after the next.
It's really nice, real nice velvety mouthfeel too. Great mouthfeel on this. Just the way it comes in on the draw, it's just very, very solid.
Like I said, as you can see, they really do burn like an absolute champ.
Great ashes. Chairman Lai says no drink, just a Liga 9. So
well played, sir.
You called it right. Indy Joe is asking about the Pappy Van Winkle cigars. We'll definitely do those at some point too. I think he's.
I think maybe you know what, we missed doing that last week. Maybe next week we'll fire up
We
the Pappy.
should.
Now, are we talking the traditional? Are we talking about the infused, brother?
Indy, tell
Or
us
both?
which you like. I know they're both incredible. I'm a big fan of those, and I like that people can, if they can't find a bottle of Pappy, or even if they can find a Pappy Van Winkle cigar. Hopefully,
And if they're really good, they can trade the Pappy Van Winkle cigars for Pappy Van Winkle.
if
And
they're
everybody's
really I interviewed those. Well, I've interviewed the Julian and Preston Van Winkle of Pappy Van Winkle a number of times, and I think one of my questions once was, and this was a number of years ago, to Preston. What have you traded a bottle of Pappy for? And I think he said once a helicopter ride was one of the greatest things he had done. But
yeah, that doesn't suck.
doesn't suck. No, it's good to have a few bottles.
If you
like
traded
that.
anything that was mine, you might be able to get a stick of gum out of it. So yeah, so that tells you just how truly special some of that stuff is. Like, what did you trade for? I'm like, I got some Hubba Bubba gum. That was it.
You were glad to
I
get
tried. I tried.
Oh, that's good.
So the people who haven't tuned in before, let them know exactly how you go about doing your educations and your pairings and your events, especially since we see a break to this hopefully in the future coming up, so people know how to reach out to you and get you involved maybe in some of their events or their restaurants or their bars. So give them that quick background.
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm a whiskey educator and journalist. While I do this show on Bourbon Blog and write along on Bourbon Blog, I've been in the business for about 15 years, educating people on whiskey, on spirits. I can come to you, provide the whiskey. Sometimes we do cigar pairings as well, and we walk you through what's an educational and also entertaining pairing. I love doing it. I usually have a variety of whiskeys. Sometimes we might even throw in a tequila, a rum. It's all tailored to your experience. Now, while we are still all socially isolated, I have been doing a few of my tastings online. So I've been doing some virtual tastings. I've been guiding people through some virtual tastings, helping you find those bottles, helping you source those bottles. And I'm going to put my email address up here, best way to reach me. And then we'd love to either do a virtual tasting with you, or actually do a hosted tasting once everything is back up and going. But if you want to talk virtual tastings or tastings planning forward, it's tom@bourbonblog.com. Or if you just want to say hi and talk cigars, whiskey, definitely reach out to me there. That's how Matty and I first met, was in Vegas. I was doing some cigar and whiskey stuff, and we met and became friends. And it's great meeting fun people like you and making good friends while I'm on the road.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking, because I actually just had somebody email me earlier and said, talk about the virtual tastings from California. It's one of those things we can actually bring in, and we can really think about for a cocktail party.
It's an enhancement to what you're doing. So
yeah.
You have an event or a restaurant or a cigar lounge, or you're hosting a large indoor event. It's really something that will bring it to the next level, especially if you start popping out cigars and doing different types of tastings.
Thank you, Matty. I have a fun time with it. Some Bryce Taylor says Pappies are a great smoke. My wife bought me a box for a wedding gift. That's great.
Outstanding. That's a keeper there, dude.
That's right.
Well played. Remember, don't be the guy that gets to the vacuum now. You'll never live that down. I got you, Pappy Van Winkles. Like, you're dead to me, dead.
And Vince Spena is giving you a shout out there from Atlantic City.
Vince, what's up there, baby? Vince is the best, man. He's my boy down in Atlantic City. We got to when this all clears up, Tom, we got to go down there and party with Mr. Vince.
I would love that. He just said he wants to see us in Atlantic City in the near future. So we will definitely make that happen, and look forward to meeting you. That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and that'll be a fun place to it. We'll see what we could do with some of the hotels and the casinos when we're down there.
Yes, I would love that.
What are you smoking tonight, Vince? Fire anything up?
Is that what Vince is? Vince do? Is he in hotels and casinos, or what's Vince up to? Is he?
He is, and
Very
a
nice.
non-entrepreneur to boot. Like, I see him blushing, even though I can't see him.
Very nice. He says, cheers.
Salud.
All right. Very nice. I'm going to try one of these other tequilas I have here. And I have a special. I love this bottle. Look at this bottle. This is one of those 1800s, the ones that pour themselves. If you knock them back just the right way, there's a little hole there. You probably seen that commercial. You can knock it back. It pours a shot in here for you. But I don't want to lose any tequila. I'm just going to pour it right like this. But it's a beautiful, tall bottle here.
I like that. Don't you dare waste a drop.
Yeah, we don't want to try. We don't want to waste any of this one. That's one of.
Don't you dare.
This one is a little bit. The Milenio tequila that 1800 does is a little rare because it's actually matured for a short period in French oak cognac barrels. So it actually it's extra aged, creates a little bit more softness, texture with those cognac barrels, really giving it
a little bit more demure and a little bit sweeter, right?
That's right. That's right. You're going to get
a little bit less of a front end bite. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's
you can tell the ex-drinker still knows.
What's that?
Now, see, you heard that? That's what happens when there is nobody on the street. What nobody told them is that an 89 Corolla isn't meant to try to go that fast.
Shouldn't be doing that, should it?
No.
Oh. Wow.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Those cognac barrels really bringing up a lot more sweetness from that smoke. I'm gonna try once again.
Look, yeah, I don't want to brag about my ash again, but my ash is pretty sweet.
That is serious.
Just saying.
Very nice, long ash. That's very nice. And you could probably even go a little further with that, couldn't you?
We'll see. I usually screw this shit up. I'm not one of the guys who wins the long ash contests. I usually find a way to ruin it, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Give me time. I'm sure I'll ruin it.
Now the ones that win those contests, they really practice that, don't they?
Yeah, they've got some game. I unfortunately don't. Usually the ash winds up on me, on my shoe, something of that nature. I've never come close to winning one of those. So we'll see who I'm kidding. I'm about 40% through. I'm reasonably pleased.
Aaron's a fan of the Millennial. What's happening, Aaron? What are you tasting tonight? Aaron Harrington there. He says,
Aaron, what's up there, bro?
Lineo is fire. And, here's what Vince is having. He's having some Liga Bravada.
Ah, yeah, boy.
So we are a lot of folks enjoying the Liga tonight. We did one of those last time when we talked last week. That was very nice.
Yeah,
really
we fired up some nines last time.
Yeah.
So, again, like I said, unabashedly, unashamed, a little bit of my Maduro action, but we'll mix that up a little bit so I don't keep sticking to the Maduros in that one profile.
I like it. No, this is really, as I'm getting down to the we're almost on the halfway point. I think on the Hoya Black, it's really showing even more of that character, especially as I'm trying this tequila. It's doing a really nice thing. Okay,
guys and gals, if anyone has questions where to get stuff and some of these liquors, he's your guy. He's going to know far better than 90% of the population, because again, he's the guy who does that. He's bopping the Liga 9 too. Boom,
somebody's having a little añejo there from Azul. That's some good stuff. He's pairing. So we are definitely we have found the audience having the tequila and the cigars tonight, one or the other or both of them. And the more I'm doing this, though, I do enjoy.
Hey, don't sleep on that black cherry from Manhattan Special.
Yeah,
sleeping it.
We like some good sodas too, and maybe even a little tequila in there. If it was me, I mean, it could work. It could work.
Very least, the next time you show you might have to do a hard root beer or something.
That's right. I could match with the hard root beer.
I'm thinking. So we gotta have you do one of the hard root beers or something like that.
Very nice. Here's Louis. He's trying the Johnny Walker Blender's Batch #2 bourbon cask. Okay, so it's one of the Johnny Walkers finished in the cask rye. Those are very nice. It's only available at duty-free stores. I think that is right, that a lot of these are they started the duty-free, and if they get really popular, a lot of times we see them elsewhere. So you might be seeing that release possibly elsewhere. Otherwise, it is always fun when we are in the duty-free stores to try those limited edition releases, which are often duty-free only, in scotches and bourbons, whatever the case might be. Any limited edition things that we can only find in duty free that you guys do, or they're
Not really duty free. I know at the now we go right back to Hoya in Managua at the airport. I know there's there's 1 or 2 sticks that you're only going to find at that duty free shop there.
Okay, so these are some that you have to go a little bit of a distance for sometimes, and that just makes it all the worthwhile more. So, well, we might actually try. Do you have one of the undercrowns not too far away from you, Matty? Is that?
I do. Hold on. What do we got over here?
You may just actually try another here. It's
so I do have an undercrown Robusto on me.
Okay.
And I believe you have an undercrown. Was it a Dogma that you had?
I have a Dogma here. Yeah, we might just we might jump into one of those in a moment because I always like to try a couple different things with you. It's kind of fun for the palate, just like with whiskey and spirit and tequila tastings. Though we don't want to ever rush the experience when we have a chance to actually try things side by side. I think it's fun. I think it can be a nice way just to see what those anchor points in those cigars or those whiskeys are. So I like it. I like to do a couple. Usually with whiskeys, when we do these tastings, we try to do a good 5 to 6 or so different whiskeys throughout the night. We wouldn't do those too quickly, but we would just do it throughout the night. So we'll fire this one up here and make some more magic happen while everyone's enjoying what they're enjoying here. I think someone's okay. That was from Chairman Lai here, talking about the celebration used to be in Managua, not produced anymore.
Yep, there you go. That's one of them.
Is that the one you were mentioning?
Thank you, Rich. Yep, that's one of the sticks that you pick up literally at the Managua airport.
Nice, very nice. All right, very nice. All right, get this one fired up here. What else
are you on here? Because if you're on here, you just messaged me on Instagram. That worky here, buddy. So, Andrew, if you can hear me and you're on there, you got to pose your questions on here on bourbonblog.com/live.
Yes.
So, and Andrew would be the wrestler AA, Andrew the Reinforcer. So you get him to pop on here.
Okay, very nice. Excellent.
Let me go yell at him in a polite kind of way through text. Hold on.
All right.
Let me do a quick beat up. Wait 1 second. I shall be back.
Get this thing right here. There we go. Got my I had a lighter that went out, but I did have an extra matchbox from the Soho Cigar Bar that I visited right before I came back home from New York. I was at a restaurant show, and I got to look up his name. The mixologist there met him, judged a cocktail competition he was in, and he made some great cocktails there at Soho Cigar Bar.
Yep, I know Mike the Greek. You met my boy.
Yeah, that's right. Soho Cigar Bar. So we had a good time there. Some great cocktails that were there, and I got one that I love.
That was right before all this went down.
That's right. It was right before all this came. I saw you. Little did I know that would be. That's what I'm glad I went out a few nights that week. So.
Oh, I just kicked my own ash, literally.
Oh. Well, you in this contest you won.
Some props.
All right. Well, I just fired up the Dogma here. So I have the Undercrown Dogma, and I have the matching ashtray. I'll show in a moment. I have the Undercrown ashtray here. I always bring that out for you.
In the middle of getting this guy on here. Give me 1 second.
All right. Oh, that's a wonderful draw that one has. Really beautiful draw.
You like that box, right? You get that box press.
That box press gives that great draw. Very nice. Very nice. Well, now I'm going to try it with the 1800 Millennium, and I'm going to see what that does to it. I may have some other tequila. I think I do. I picked several tequilas, but these were the two.
You're smoking your nice box press Vitola there.
Yes.
You got your nice San Andreas wrapper. So you'll notice, even though both sticks we smoked this evening are Maduro, you'll notice the subtle differences with this over what we just had with the black.
Yes. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is very nice. I like the draw. I like the flavor. I like the depth there. Some really nice intensity that I'm getting right away, right off the top there.
And it's amazing just with that box press, right? So it just goes to show you, people go, all the different shapes and sizes are exactly the same. When, once you're smoking for a while, that's absolutely not at all the truth. You're going to find something different on each size. And then, the more you smoke, the more you're going to find something that works for you. Oh, hold on. Tried to watch, could not connect. Let's see what platform. Does it look like, from what you're seeing, is everyone's on every platform?
Yeah, it should be. If they go to youtube.com/bourbon blog, that's another place. If he's not logged right into Facebook or to Twitter, youtube.com/bourbon blog will take you there. And for everybody else watching, that's another place to get us each night. Bourbon Blog's YouTube channel. And if you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe. We have a lot of not only cigar and whiskey, but just all kinds of whiskey videos from the years, on releases, on reviews, taking on trips places, all kinds of distilleries. Usually this time every year I'm doing celebrity interviews on the red carpet at Derby. So give you that right there, youtube.com/bourbon blog. Please subscribe. We love having people subscribe, and all the videos we do every night always go onto YouTube and are streamed live on YouTube. Now, you were saying, Matty, the box press. Talk about the difference that makes, because I don't think everybody understands that difference that can really make in how the smoke happens.
Well, just it kind of changes up the profile, because remember, the way that you take air into a cigar will always kind of change the profile, how it burns and everything else. So you got that nice Cuban box press, so you're finding a nice, easy, smooth draw on that, right?
It's so smooth. I mean, the way it comes in there is just beautiful. And part of it's the box press, part of it's the smoothness of the tobacco. But that box press just really does something magical. It really does.
Yep. So guys who've smoked the Undercrowns, if you've not smoked the Dogmas before, they're available in special 10 packs. They're not sold in regular large box sizes. It's more of a limited run production. So check it out. And like I said, if you haven't done a Cuban style box press before, it's a nice change up. It's a different feeling in the hand and in the mouth. So something I suggest you try at least once, and you'll see if that's something that you put back into your rotation. It's something that I do enjoy myself.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. I'm getting while I do get sweetness so far on the Dogma. I know I've had a Dogma, but it's been a little while. I'm getting a little bit more of that earth, that strong earth, which is it's really beautiful, and it's really doing some nice things to really play against the sweetness and the spice of the tequila.
Yep, you're getting something that's a little bit meatier, if you will, than your last smoke, a little bit more robust, a little bit fuller body. So that just goes to show you, just a cigar basing a cigar just on his wrappers. Nope.
William O'Connor. Okay, I think William just tuned in asking what I'm enjoying drinking. I'm actually decided to, though I love bourbon, I'm taking not a break from the bourbon, but I'm changing because I may have a bourbon later. But I'm doing a little tequila tonight, some Milenio 1800, and I just had some Casa Noble on Añejo. So,
one tequila, two tequila, three tequila, four. See that coming up.
That's right.
It's Cinco de Mayo. It's all right.
So far, it's 2 or something like that. Of course, a lot of tequilas are aged in used bourbon barrels. Many of them are, unless they're going to go out of that secondary aging or this cognac barrel that this Milenio's done in. So, bourbon barrels go many places: rum, tequila, Scotland. Most scotches are aged in used bourbon barrels. Beers. So bourbon has many lives, and this tequila, or some of these tequilas, is just one more life that it has. Because once you have a bourbon in a cask, you empty it, and it can never be bourbon again, right? It gets to only do it one time in that one barrel. So that's what I'm enjoying tonight.
Bourbon once.
Bourbon once in that barrel empties, and then that barrel has to be used for something else. Now, it can be other American whiskeys, but it just can't be that bourbon again. So the Dogma, how many different? You said that box press, and what other sizes?
For the Dogma, that's the Dogma is that particular SKU is the Cuban box press Vitola.
Just
so that's what you're smoking now. So
okay.
There's a bunch of different sizes and SKUs and types of Undercrowns, but that Dogma is just available in the size in that particular size.
Okay, cool. What else? What else are we going to be seeing coming up? Anything you'll be able to talk to us about on the Underground series that we should look forward to?
With everything else going on now, not sure if there's going to be any new surprises or introductions. But if there is, I'll make sure that you and I do a nice little sneak preview for everybody out there.
Excellent.
I think we're going to see a little bit more normalcy come back to the world, and then start thinking about some new blends, and a couple of new things to put out there on the market.
Right. Before anything else is released that wouldn't already be in the
current lineup.
Right. Where are you most looking forward? I mean, obviously it's a ways away, but what events, what places are you most looking forward to going?
Hey man,
Drew Estate
killed me for the first time in a decade not to do Cigar Fest the same weekend as Kentucky Derby. So
right.
Last weekend would have been Cigar Fest. So, like I said, tough. Tough when you're used to doing something for 10 years. You get to see, thousands of people that you don't normally get to see from all over the country. So, things like that take its toll. So one of the biggest things that I'm missing is the camaraderie of cigars and getting to see all your buddies from all over the country, and then some of the bigger shows all over the world. Definitely waiting for those barn smokers, see if there's possibly a way to salvage them, get them established. But again, we don't know what the guidelines are going to be. We don't know what the new social distancing rules are going to be. So that's going to take a while to figure out the specifics and the details. But boy, I can tell you, I definitely missed that. So great events to be, like I said, not very often you get to be in a room with 1,000 or more of your buddies, getting to talk smokes, check in, see how everybody's doing. So I very, very much miss that. So that's something I can't wait for it to come back. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way.
Right. And me too. And I miss the cigar lounges. I miss the bars. I miss the whiskey tastings that we do on a regular basis. Like I said, we are doing some virtual tastings, and those are fun. But it's so nice to always have that personal connection with people drinking a whiskey. And many bartender friends, though many bartenders are all bartenders I know are looking forward to getting back to work,
their livelihood back online.
They're all saying though, how do we get people who are sipping whiskey or just sipping cocktails to social distance, because that's usually something that makes us you and I like to hug, but even people that don't end up liking to hug in bars. So
a couple more drinks, y'all get a little bit more huggy. It's true. So
that becomes the big question. But I'm sure we will figure it all out. Someone drinking, Jeremy's joining us from YouTube, having some Balcones Single Malt Kentucky Special Edition store pick. Very nice. One of the whiskeys from the barrel and bottle selection that I'll be showcasing tomorrow night with Dave Sweet is special Balcones selections that have been aged in different kinds of casks. It's a really cool bottle. Actually, it's a ceramic bottle. I believe it's made in England that these are in. And then the other ones are picked at Town Branch in Lexington. So those of you who are joining us that like American single malt, I can tell you, or any single malts, tomorrow night's your night, because we're going to be tasting, I think, 6 different single malts back to back, really trying these beautiful American single malts. Town Branch and Balcones both have delicious ones. One of these is like a 10-year-old American single malt, which is just almost unheard of, that we're going to be trying tomorrow night. So
that's good then, because if you're having 6 of them, stay-at-home order is good. You don't even want to get on a tricycle with that.
The stay-at-home order really helps us and continues to help us as we just enjoy. We enjoy it to a degree being quarantined, but we are definitely enjoying the fact that we know we got to stay here, have some
quarantinis. Yep.
Annabelle, my wife's usually here helping to make some cocktails for us, having a good time, and it's definitely always a good time. There is not everyone. No, okay, there is someone watching that says they're not a hugger, but Andy, it's always not watching. Andy, my buddy,
high five, fist bump. What do we got?
Andy Collin does some. He has his own way of greeting, and he has his own way. He has his own style of hugging, don't you, Andy? It's a whole different thing. But so many great people watching us tonight for some. I would usually be saying whiskeys and smokes, but tonight it's tequilas and smokes. And this Dogma, I'm really liking, as this last one was so complimentary and accentuating, I would almost say that this pairing, the more I'm doing it, is a little bit contrasting, but the contrast comes out in a really beautiful way with the sweet and the spice, the sweet here, the spice here, and the earth together pairs really beautifully. This is a really beautiful pairing. Really like it. And with your, I would imagine with cherry soda, it's something quite similar with the earth and the cherry. So Manhattan Special. How many different flavors do they do the Manhattan Special in?
Well, like I said, the Manhattan Special, finding the different flavors was kind of new for me. So the original, the old school was always the espresso soda, was the coffee soda. So one of the Italian bodegas, actually, I'm like, wait a minute, sarsaparilla, black cherry soda, cream soda. I'm like, I'm sold. I like all my craft sodas. Real cane sugar, no corn syrup, that kind of thing.
How do you think, in general? Of course, we're able to enjoy. Maybe people working from home, maybe that are cigar fans, are going out on their deck, lighting up a cigar a little more often. How do you think this whole quarantine is going to change long term or short term how we enjoy cigars and just cigar markets? Are there any predictions that you have or that you're hearing that are?
Like I said, to me and my thought process, it all hinges on what they come up with these clinical trials, right? Because the biggest thing that we all have is fear, right? You don't want to, you or I might not necessarily die, but we don't want to kill somebody else with a compromised immune system. So we all got to figure that out. So the closer and closer we get to actually having a vaccine or something to combat it, will obviously change the overall outtake on how we treat the disease, right? So again, I hate saying anything because that's one thing with me, I'm not the expert by any stretch of the means, but we see where we're going, see if we could stamp this out, which we're doing now with social distancing and everything else. But really, we need to find a cure. We need to find a way to remedy this before I see us going back anywhere close to normal. So as of right now, I couldn't tell you what the new norm is. Like I said, I was a pig in shit just that the local parks opened up, something that we all take for granted, right? So
right.
I don't know what the staging is going to be like. Obviously, since the mandates are state to state, everything's going to be a little bit different, but you don't know what everyone's mindset is going to be. Again, it goes back to, just because you can do something, are you actually going to do it? So I don't know. There's a lot of people who think a lot of different ways about all this. Like I said, I personally miss the camaraderie, something terrible, especially doing, X amount of events a year. I'm not used to it being in May. And the last event that I did for the year was Vegas, was TPE. It was in January. Right. Then, we were all shut down. So I miss it terribly. I want nothing more than to be on the road doing it again, but also I want to be responsible about how we're all doing it. So sad, brother, that I don't have answers. I don't think too many people do, but got to take it day by day and see where that leads us. I'm happy. I'm hopeful. I'm happy we have technology that allows us all to be together to do things like this. So while we can't be in each other's personal company, we can all still talk to each other, be around each other, and rejoice and enjoy the moment. So cheers, brother.
Cheers. We certainly can. Here's and I think this prediction could be true also. William, thanks for watching us there on Facebook. His opinions were definitely enjoy our cigars and libations and our sodas quite a bit more. We're going to keep on enjoying life. We're going to bring in those things that we really enjoy about life. One of the things that we actually have seen on Bourbon Blogger just more and more as we look at our statistics, people Googling not just, hey, what's up, what's this bourbon or that bourbon, but they're really Googling a lot of the reviews of some of our more expensive and rare ones, because I think that people are really busting some of those rarer cigars, maybe rarer tequilas, bourbons out and saying, we kind of didn't think things like this could happen, but while we're all here and well, let's try these. Let's taste these things.
Open up that apocalypse drinks or have that apocalypse smoke. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's what's happening. That's why we're seeing, hey, maybe somebody hasn't Googled this review for a while because they're holding on to it, but they're like, I've had this for 5 or 6 years and I'm going to get it out of the cabinet and I'm going to actually enjoy this, and as well you should. And hold on. I've always said if you see something and you're able to get it, something you really like that you might not have again, get a couple bottles. Get one for now, taste it. One for later to save for a rainy day or for a.
Well, make sure for the next catastrophe, you got to have something for the murder hornets. Come on, man. Please. I'm telling you, think you're the guy. You might want to talk to a brand. I don't know. Murder Hornet bourbon. Just saying.
There could be. That could
I
be.
get 5%, by the way. I'm like, Murder Hornet bourbon.
I think we'll see
here first, everyone. Heard it here first on Bourbon Blog.
That's right. Cheers, man. We'll see some things coming out. And one of the other things we've heard people talk about is several brands are taking Whistle Pig being one of those beer that, because a lot of the brewers can't get their beer to market, they don't want to empty it. It will go bad. They'll have to pay a fine if they pour it all out because they can't get it to market. But they're actually taking it to distilleries like Whistle Pig, and they're distilling it. And they're going to make some sort of a, beer. It's called the Great Beer Rescue. They're at Whistle Pig. So they're helping their brewers out that can't, those small breweries that can't actually get that beer to market. And they are
pretty cool because you're going to get something, with the bad comes the good. You're going to get something which you usually don't see on the market. So for enthusiasts, this is going to add something. This is going to add something into their repertoire, right?
Oh yeah, no, it absolutely will. So we are smoking again. Those of you just joined us, we are trying the Drew Estate Undercrown Dogma. And the next time that we have Matty, we'll try some other smokes. And
or if you guys have suggestions, you let us know. Yeah. If there's something you suggest to smoke out of Drew, you let me know. If there's something you suggest Tom to bring to the table, drink wise, let us know, brother.
Yeah, let us know. You have a favorite cocktail you like with your cigar, which I'm always excited to try. New cocktails with cigars. I've really been
watch out. They're going to start making you make Sazeracs and stuff back there. Which should work.
We might do that. One of the ones I found that I love is called a Revolver. It's great by itself and really good with a cigar. It's rye whiskey, a little flamed orange, a little coffee liqueur, and some simple syrup. And it really just allows those coffee and sweeter tones to really complement a lot of cigars. So that's one I've really found. Someone says that well, thank you, William. He bought more good bottles of bourbon and single malt scotch that he's so excited because never bought them before. Yeah, so it's allowing us all to experiment and try something unique. And again, if you just want to talk about the whiskeys you're buying, or spirits, definitely drop me a line, Tom@bourbonblog.com. And again, I'm doing virtual tastings, a number of those online, much like this, but for several friends. Drop me a line. We can definitely talk about that. And join us here every night, even Saturdays and Sundays. I'm here every night, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
He never sleeps, folks. He's always there.
Well, I'm glad I always have this to, that's the cool thing. I'm like all day long, I'm like, I'm going to smoke some cigars tonight with Matty. I'm going to see some great people watching us. It gives me something to look forward to every night, and I hope it gives something for you all to look forward to. And then we take this, it'll stay up on whatever, wherever you're streaming it from, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter will stay up there. And then I also put it on our podcast channel as well. So wherever you get your podcast, just look for Bourbon Blog. We put the audio of this on that podcast, along with other great things as well, audio-wise. And this is great, Matty. It's so good to see you. I think these were some really good pairings. Again, we started with the Hoya Black, and I tried a little of the Casanoble Añejo with that, and also the 1800 Millennium. And then we went to the Dogma, the box press. This was, I think that, and the order we did them in was perfect too. It was the sweet and then the earth. This was really, really splendid. I'm so glad to see you, buddy. This was so nice having you join us. Brother. And we'll try to get you on the next week and a half again or so, and we'll smoke and drink some more great things. And the fun part is, whenever we're doing this outside, Matty's there, I'm here. We kind of both get to see the sunset.
You didn't get the '89 Corolla zooming down the street, so
That's right. It's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad everything's well there for you in New Jersey, and glad you're enjoying your parks. I hope you keep on staying well, my friend.
Absolutely, brother. Much love to you and the family. Guys and gals out there, any questions that you have for Tom, any pairings, anything that you're looking to get answered, he's the guy to bring to the table when it comes to your bourbons, your whiskeys, your spirits, and so on. So bring those questions to Tom. He'll be more than happy to answer them when we're on the show. And if there's anything in particular you want us to bust out and be smoking for the our next segment, reach out to me on any of my social media platforms and reach out to Tom.
Yes. Yeah, definitely follow. If you're not already, follow Matty Rock. He has on what's your Instagram handle there?
Matty Rock 2K, MattyRock 2K.
Follow Matty Rock on Twitter, on Instagram, all those great places. He's so much fun to follow. And much love to you, Matty, and all the great people that joined us tonight for Bourbon Blog Live. Cheers, buddy. So good to see you, man.
Great to see you as always, my brother. Much love. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Much love to you and your families. Stay safe. We'll see you real soon.
Cheers.
Take care.